Evening all, and welcome back to Factory Town, where we have got off to a pretty good start here. We've got row houses, we've got our food system going on here, selling some flour for a decent amount of coins. Got some research going, which will be completed anytime soon. And once we get our woodworking open, we can move on to some wonderful new things. Now, I do need to get over to here, so we need to be making more planks than we currently are. But also, we have working. So we've now unlocked the barn, the crate, a workshop, a tailor. That's a new building that I've not used yet. So that'll be a chute. That'll be helpful, and a wagon. Awesome. So first things first, we no longer need to work for us here because we have chutes open, and chutes can do this. Certain items can be chuted, other items cannot. They require a conveyor belt. You can find out via a filter what's chuted and what's not, but I don't know how to do that right now. That's a little awkward. Well, you can do it with a barn. You can do it with a barn. If you have a barn, we need stone for a barn. We don't have enough stone. We need to get stone going on there. So let's do that. Let's get 10 stone. Then once we get the 10 stone, we can build a barn, and we can put the barn over here where the stone is, so this guy doesn't have to walk so far to get stone. And as I said before, you can use items in barns as storage. Barns are basically just a small version of the base. So the base can store up to 4 items, and you can use it for construction. Anything you put in a barn can also be used for construction. So if we do that and we say, hey, would you put it in the barn instead? He doesn't have it anywhere near as far to walk. He puts it in the barn, and we get one up there. Awesome. So, to see what is available on the chutes, the only way I know how to do this is via the filters. If you build a barn, or you can do it in the base as well. If you double click, or if you click one of in the top right corner, one of the items there. So we'll click that one there. There we go, and it brings up this here. So I just want to temporarily filter stuff to see what is what. There probably is a better way of showing this. I'm not aware of it, so yeah. But if you bring up the item filters and you scroll, these are all the items in the game here. If you scroll all the way down the bottom, you start getting categories of stuff. So you see things like restoratives for satisfaction. You get fish, fruit. But the very first one you get after Omni Stones is called loose bulk. And interestingly, Omni Stones have been moved to the end of the list. They were right up here. That's cool. Stuff's been reordered. That would have really messed up my previous play, but yeah. You get an item called loose bulk. Loose bulk is a list of items that can be moved on chutes or stored in loose bulk trains. If you set the filter and then mouse over it up here, it gives you a list of everything that's available for that. So these are all the items that can be put onto a chute, and a chute works exactly the way it sounds. It shoots items along it to a destination. It doesn't go uphill. It's based on gravity, so you can get it to go uphill if it goes long. The longer the chute goes, the faster stuff becomes. So at a certain speed, you can get it to go uphill, but it becomes a little complicated. Good fun to play with and try. But see, all those items can be put on a chute. So because flour is shootable, we can put a chute right outside the building here, and it will auto output down the chute into there, freeing up one of our workers. Awesome. Another thing you can do is put chutes in, which we'll do here. Actually. Let's run a chute to there, and then we'll say, all of you, we'll get you two. Would you put on the chute? And you're the same. Put on the chute. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now, instead of them having to go all the way back to the barn, they'll drop on the chute. Workers are smart enough to also know that if you extend the chute, they should go to the end of the chute to drop items on, because if they drop it in the middle, it could travel either direction. So you can extend chutes out and do that. But you see here, now they just stood still and moving, and this is getting way more stuff. It just helps. It just helps with everything, really. So we can do the same here. We can say, hey, would you do that? It also puts some blocks underneath, because chutes, they can go downhill and uphill, but they can't go sort of angle wise, so it'll fill that all out for you. That's not a problem. So you and you are putting stuff into the base. You're doing that one there. So you two are doing the planks. So if I say, hey, would you do that instead? Because we know wood is a shootable item. They'll pick it up and they'll drop it on here and it will slide along into the lumber mill. And Chutes are way faster than having workers walk backwards and forwards. So it's just a way better way of doing that. So I want to clear that filter off here because we definitely want stone to be in there. Another thing as well is that barns have an overall filter as well. You can filter each item individually. You can filter up to 4 different items in here. Or you can filter the whole barn. You can just say, hey, barn, be stone. Now, if I was to tell him to grab a tree and put it in here, he wouldn't be able to. He'd go, nope, I can't do that because that barn is for stone. You may think, oh, that's good, but not really important. Later on, when you're doing other things and you reassign workers and stuff like that, if you tell a worker that has stone in him to go and pick up wood, he will drop his stone off first into whatever inventory is closest. Which may be a barn you don't want stone to be in, especially if you've set up some automation to say, hey, a barn with wood in, come out and go to a lumber mill. If a bit of stone gets on a chute, it blocks the whole system up and breaks it. So filtering things is useful if you know exactly what it's going to be. So that's the item. That's our stone barn. It's going to store 200 stone. That works fantastically. Another thing with barns is that they can be upgraded. Down here in the bottom right corner, you have an upgrade. It costs 100 yellow coins and 20 planks. And if you upgrade it, it will double its storage capacity. So it will go from storing 200 in groups of 50 to storing 400 in groups of 100. So it's quite useful to know that. Upgrading the barn fully allows it to store 250. I say double its capacity. I don't think it does. I think it's 50, 100, 150, 200, and then it adds 50 capacity on every time. So yeah, it doesn't double. Adds 50 capacity on to a maximum of 250, which means it's 1,000 goods. But it's not just 1,000 goods. It's 250 of 4 different types of goods if you want to go down that route. So it can be quite useful to do that sort of thing. Okay, so we've unlocked woodworking, and woodworking can help with is it forest? No, forest is still closed for us at the moment, I think. Yeah, forester needs something else unlocked, which we'll do in a moment. Forestry is one of the early ones I go for. Now the tailor unlocks early, but I've never used it, and it requires stone brick. So that's something we definitely want to get into. Also, we want to upgrade the base again, because you're always looking to upgrade the base. So we need wooden wheels and stone brick. Okay, so how do we get that? Well, we can build a... no, we can't, sorry. We have to research first masonry. Masonry will unlock the stonemason. So if I tick that, boom. Now I'll start filling up with paper, and we shall go through and unlock that. And then once we get the stonemason done, we can unlock things like road and stone arches and stone benches. Some items are just for aesthetic purposes. There's no real difference between a stone arch and a wooden arch, other than the look's different. Roads are faster than paths. These are paths at the moment. We have a footpath. Roads are faster than paths, particularly when it comes to using wagons. Wagons are something else that I mean, what I was going to do was have things move from here to the base, but we might as well just leave that there because it works. That's fine. We do have stone over here we want to play with as well, so we might tap into that stone for the stonemason and build that over here. Okay. Something else we can do as well is upgrade our houses, which is the same sort of principle. Just requires planks. How many planks do we have? 158. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's only 30. Okay. So you can upgrade the houses by clicking this button down here. Click that one, click the house, click that one. You can also click them and press U to upgrade them. U is the universal upgrade button. But also, if you come down here to the select option, the select option no longer does what I expected it to do. Okay, it used to have a menu, so that's me being too old to know what the new buttons are. But if you press tab, you will go into select columns mode, and what that will do is allow you to drag and highlight many things at once. So we do that. We've selected all those houses. Now with them all selected, you see they've all got the yellow highlight around them. You just press U once, and it upgrades every single one of them. Very useful to know when you've got 50, 60 houses that you all need to upgrade through. The next one is stone, so we can't do that next. But if we doubled our houses, we'd have to go through, and that would be, at the moment we're clicking 6 times, then it'd be 12 times. When you get to 40 houses or so, it's just easier to highlight the light, press U, upgrade, job done. Nice and easy. So, right. Speaking of houses, we can build some more. We can build another 2. So let's do that. Let's build another 2. We'll put 2 back here, like that and that. They are connected to that. So we'll upgrade that house. We'll upgrade that house up to 2. There we go. Well, that gives us 36 workers, and increases our happiness to 8 because we're doing 1 per happiness here. So let's have a look at getting some other happiness. Now, fish was something that was mentioned previously, and we have fish here. Don't think any of our workers can get those fish. Let's grab you. You come up here if you would, please. Let's just quickly see whether you can grab some fish. Can you actually get them fish? I don't think you can. No, it's too far. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll build a little dock. Let's grab, actually, into the build menu. Go down to structural blocks. Oh, we unlock masonry. Awesome. We can do that. Build. Structural blocks, and we have the wooden bridge. Let's build a wooden bridge out to here. So, boom, boom. Turn the camera around so I can actually click on the bridge itself. That one. And is that enough? I think that's enough. There we go. So you take fish and put it to there. There we go. And he'll walk on the bridge. See, he's a lot quicker on the bridge as well than he is when he's here. So building a path may not be a bad idea for him there. Might do that from here. A tree in the way, so I think we'll remove that tree. It's 33 logs on it. We're okay. Remove that tree. Put in a path, and they will follow the path if it's quicker for them. They'll calculate whether it's quicker to walk here, or whether it's quicker to follow a path. So, and she's a lot quicker, a lot faster following that path, even though it goes around that way, than he is walking down the beach here. So, well, and he's just going to sell raw fish. It's not a great deal, but it does get us to 10 happiness. And 10 happiness is where we get our production bonus. See, it says production plus 10%. That means that our lumber mill here is now... oh, it's dropped down to 9%. Come back. Come back. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go, 10. There we go. Now it speeds 110%. All for just making people happier. When your entire town is happier, you get a production bonus. And that applies to every single building. They will all go up to 110% if it stays up there. Now, this is really inefficient. Him walking all the way down here and coming all the way back again. It's really, really slow. So what we really want to do is speed this up. And we can do that with a few things. So I'm going to pause the game just for a moment. Here he comes. So, to speed it up, really, we don't want him walking so far. As we've learnt here, we don't want him walking all the way along here. We could put a chute in to run the fish all the way along to here, but that would be awkward because we'd have to run the chute sort of down along there and then along here, in between here, and yeah. So what we can do instead is we can build a mini storage for him. So let's get a crate. A crate, very simple item. Oh, there it is. It stores 20 items, 20 of a single item. It's just a tiny little 1 square storage. You don't have access to the goods inside there, so if I put wood in there, I can't use it for building. It's just a temporary storage. And the idea behind it is that we'll tell you to drop into the crate. So you're grabbing the fish and dropping into the crate. Then we will grab another worker or a wagon. Wagon would be useful, but we can't do that yet. We will grab another worker, or say 4, and get them to grab the fish. Now, if you'll see right now it's empty, so I can't do anything with it. Makes it a little awkward. I can't set this up. I've got to wait for him to put a fish in there, which you could do. You could wait for him to put a fish in there and then tell him what to do, or you can filter it. If you filter it to say it can only store fish, then it has an item filter. You can then select the people and you can say, hey, because it knows it's going to have fish in it, you can go take fish, come down here, drop fish in there. And you've set it all up before anything's going on. And then when we unpause the game, they'll all run over to the box. And he'll drop a fish off in there. And one at a time, they will take the fish, go and drop it off, and then come back. Here we go. And he's going to walk down there because he was on that side of the box. But I think next time they won't do that. And that seems to be about right. I didn't figure that one out, whether it was going to be correct or not. But it seems to be that he's dropping a fish in there as soon as someone else comes back. Oh, that looks about right. 4 people grabbing fish. Obviously, we had one that went the long way around, but that's fine. Yeah, so that means the box is filling up at the same speed that it's emptying, which is perfect. That's what we want. Awesome. Then we get a faster supply of fish, and now we're up to 13 happiness, 14 happiness. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So just using a buffer is a much better way of doing things. Now, having 4 people do this, not very efficient because, well, I'm wasting 5 people grabbing fish. So let's fix that. We want to build a wagon, and we can't build a wagon because we need wooden wheels. And wooden wheels are made from planks, and we have some planks being made right here. So let's do that, shall we? You can't unlock anything because we need base level 3 for stuff. That's fine. That's fine. What I should really do here as well is I don't think paper's rollable. No, I don't think paper's rollable. If you here we go. If you try and put a chute in front of a building, because all buildings have an output on the front by default. If you try and put a chute on the front and the item being produced is not compatible, you'll get this little red symbol here saying, "No, you can't do that. That's not. No, need someone else instead." So that's fine. That's fine. But what I think I'll do here is, well, actually, we'll leave that. I was going to put a little storage in here, but we're kind of suffering for space a little bit here. I've crammed things in pretty small. What I can do is I can move the school over here somewhere, because it doesn't really matter where the school is. And because he's going to school, he'll automatically move away, and he knows what's going on there. That has to be near the water. So let's build ourselves a workshop, like so. And we'll put the workshop just there. Right. And we want the workshop to be making us wooden wheels. So wooden wheels require planks to be made. So let's say you, our new worker, put the planks into there. Here we go. And then you'll start making wooden wheels. We need 4 wooden wheels to make a wagon. I was going to call it a car. Is it called a car? Is it called a wagon? I can't remember what it's called. It's called a wagon. You need 4 wooden wheels. But again, we can't access this output because we can't build with it. We're not allowed to see. It says 0 wooden wheels up here, even though we have 3. So we need to take them out into either barn or the base. So let's get another worker. Let's say you put into the base because it's easy enough done. And there we go. There's our wheels going in there. Let's get 4 of them. And then what we can do is we can say anyone that comes up here, there's 4. Let's build a wagon. Oh, and you are going to be placed with automation. Now, a wagon can hold 4 items in one go, so it's basically 4 people. So if I tell these 4 to stop, and then go, "Hey wagon, would you do that?" Drop to there. Wagon will fill up. It'll jump on here. It'll drive down. It'll drop off its goods. It'll come back again. I think people are faster than a wagon, if I'm remembering correctly. But wagons are faster than people when it comes to roads. These are paths, so these are footpaths, so they're designed to be, for a footpath. However, the wagon only uses 1 worker. See here, it uses 1. So that is essentially 4 workers in 1. So we could get rid of those 4 and have 4 spare workers free, which is excellent. That's kind of what we want to do, because you'll find very, very soon, you can just highlight them and press delete to get rid of them, and they go back into the job pool. But you'll find that you'll be wanting to save your workers not moving stuff around like this. You want to be using chutes and belts and other bits and pieces, and instead you'll be doing more and more buildings. So Right now we're okay for capacity, but it runs out quick. It runs out very, very quick. So we've got 10 wheels. We just need some stone bricks, which yeah. You've all stopped because you're full up. So let's fix this. Let's build a stonemason because we unlocked that. And the stonemason uses 40 stone. I was going to say brick. That's not right because it makes brick. It couldn't use the thing it makes. And we'll say stone brick. Boom, there we go. So you're now filling that up there. Excellent. And you're there. We'll rotate you around a bit. So we want to take the stuff out of this barn and put it into here. So we'll do that. But you'll notice it's not outputting. It's not working. That's because chutes, the orientation of a chute matters. If you build a chute in a corner, you see it gets a corner. If I build a chute that way, the stuff along here can't get onto this bit. If I did that, it would stop because there's no connection there. There's no sort of link. They just cross. If you push R on the keyboard, you can rotate the chutes to get different things, versions of it, different angles. So if I remove those, and I remove that one, and then put in this one, which is the angle which will come out and connect to that chute there, it'll auto output and go that way. So if you're ever stuck with them, just look at how the angles work. If you want to build, I mean, the biggest thing a lot of people do is this, trying to build a three-way thing. That won't work because they can't actually connect to each other. What you need to do is you need a straight to go ahead, you need a left turn, and then a right turn. So it's got to look like that. So that will allow stuff to turn left and right and go straight on. That's it takes a bit of practice if you're not used to it, but it takes a bit of practice, but it's how can I say it's something that I'm just so used to. I can't really explain. That's the best explanation I can do for it. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. And let's put a barn down here for storing this, and we're going to need a worker because stone brick cannot roll on a chute. We'll put you in there, and we'll filter you as well. We'll say we want to be stone brick, just in case. Don't want any stone from here getting into here. That makes life a bit awkward. There we go. And we have stone brick, which means we have 10 stone brick, which is excellent because that's what we need. No, we need 20 stone brick to upgrade the base. Okay. So, something else we want to do is we want to speed this up because that crate is actually full. And it doesn't look like this wagon is running anywhere near as quickly as I thought it would, so that's fine. That's fine. We'll build another worker. We'll build another wagon. And we will tell you to take fish and also drop off there. Once that one drops off, go. Now, wagons, unlike workers, you'll see there, they went round each other. Bear that in mind when building roads like I've done here. This is terrible. If the wagons meet each other here, one will stop, go back and try and go around to get to wherever it's going to. And it may not be able to do that little corner piece there because that's water. So it may try and go up all the way around these trees, all the way back down here, all the way along here. So bear that in mind. Building this little narrow thing was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. Although I didn't know I was going to do it this way. So, and the early designs, you'll change all these. You'll change many of these to be different things. I mean, we don't want the woodwork, the wheel thing here because it's clogging up stuff, and we don't want other bits and pieces, and it's all a bit of a mess right now. And we're using up all our corn, and we need to get things going. We need to automate things so that we can be far more efficient. So, to get to automation, we definitely need to upgrade the base because we need to unlock some new wonderful, wonderful things. So let's do that. Upgrade, boom. There we go. We have 4 more houses. We have a general store. We've unlocked farming and forestry. They're the important ones. And basic logistics, which gives us conveyor belts and pipes and grabbers and other bits and pieces, which is very, very useful. So let's start some research off. Farming and forestry are the important ones here. Now, if I pause this here, if I put 2 recipes in at once, which you can do as many as you like. If I put 2 recipes, I do farming, I do forestry. I'll even do the basic logistics. I'll do all three of them. We'll tick all three of them. The basic logistics won't go because it needs red coins, and we haven't sold anything for red coins. That's where the general goods building comes in that we just unlocked. We'll get to that probably next episode, but that won't go. But if you have 2 recipes in a building, the workload is shared between them. So you see here, this says 2 seconds and this says 2 seconds. It will do both of them at the same time, meaning that both of them will take 4 seconds to complete, but at the same time. So it actually slows down one of the recipes, or slows down 2 of the recipes, but does 2 things at once. You can speed this up by adding people. You can increase the workload to speed it up. Happiness affects it, obviously. So we're at 130% happiness right now. I don't know. Oh no, the farm, the school gets a bonus happiness. Yeah, the school gets bonus happiness based on something else. It gets a bonus from. I'm not sure where it gets the bonus from, but it gets a bonus. It probably says some of the tooltips to it. But so if you really want one of your researches to be done, or even if you're putting into here, you can have 2 recipes. You can have planks and paper in one place. Bear in mind that it will slow down both recipes because it's doing both of them at the same time. If it runs out of a resource, like it runs out of water, or this one here has run out of red coins, that won't go, so it won't slow it down. So, yeah, doing 2 at once generally isn't the way of doing things, but for research-wise, I'm fine with that because, well, we can unpause the game and we can just watch that research go. See here, it's taking. It might actually be taking 2 seconds to do that, and it's working fine because it gets bonus speed. It's a bit weird. It's supposed to share the workload between them, but that looks like it's running at just. No, that's about 3 seconds. So that's where the bonus, the 130% is coming in there. So that is technically slower than if I was to put just 1 in there. And you see here, if it runs out of goods and it gets goods in, it will do, rather than just doing the first one, it will do 1 here, and then the next one, and that one, and that one, that one. And it will remember and do them all. So it keeps it all balanced. So you'll unlock both farming and forestry at roughly the same time, which is fine. That's fine by me. Because, well, we're going to bring this episode to a close here, and we shall come back next time with forestry and farming, and then we can automate the world. Forestry is really good because right now you'll see we are chopping down trees and they are literally disappearing, and that's not good. If we use all the trees up, they go, and we don't get them back. A forester can actually chop down trees without destroying them, so that's useful. And the same for farms. We're using up all our grain here. But if we replant the grain in this area, we'll be able to have it grow all the time with a farm. And it's a central building basically doing what these 3 are doing. So again, it's 1 worker saving for 3. But we'll get to that next time, and we'll get to the general store as well. The general store is basically the food market, but for general goods. In fact, you know what? Let's just quickly build one. We'll end the episode here. We'll quickly build a general store. Let's put it over here for a moment. Oh, there we go. You see here, he's the same. He sells goods for red coins. Instead, so any of these goods, so we could sell planks and make some red coins, which we will need to do because we need some red coins, but we'll wait for the other research to be done first because I don't want to slow this down even further. And belts are very important, but making sure our resources don't run dry is a bit more important. So okay, we'll leave it here and we'll come back next time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one, and until then, as always, have fun.